Alright, I'm back. So this time I wanted to do it another way because I thought that this video could actually be especially useful given the issue I've been facing on this, and rather than voiceover like I usually do, I find it's way more I guess spontaneous and way more lively if I just talk straight. So I'll do it in English without voiceover this time. So the thing I've been trying to, let's see with my crappy camera if the zoom, oh, the zoom worked on the first time, great. So basically to give you a bit of background, I've been trying to use the Delft sand casting method. I'm not a pro at all at it. I've just started it, but here you go. I wanted to make a ring for myself, and as I do a little bit of pottery, well, I got back to do it. I used to do it when I was younger, and so I just made this little sample. I was like, oh, that might be a good way to start to see if you could try to make molds, because I didn't have any wax to carve wax to do it the traditional way. So what I did is I just used my clay, which is it hardens it by itself. You know, you just have to leave it in the air in the room temperature, and it will harden in a couple of days. So that's what happened with this, and I decided to make a ring out of it and to try to cast it with the sand casting technique. So I can already show you because the first try was successful. So what I used are my aluminum kind of flask, I think that's the way they call it. The usual way is to just make them match, and you just, you know, dig a hole in there in the sand, and then you can pour your molten metal. But for this particular project, I knew it was going to be a pendant, so I knew I didn't need to have two equal sides that are perfectly similar and symmetric, like if it had been, for instance, a ring or something. So I decided to use the top part and to pour the metal in on this side rather than on the usual side. So it turned out great, and I thought this video could be a great introduction to the sand casting, and more videos perhaps. I might try to do more, but not right now, but I will try when I have the time and I have something to actually work on. But I thought it was the best way to start with this, because what happened to me was kind of the worst case scenario thing possible. That's why I thought it was handy to share that. Yeah, that's it with the zoom, because what happened is that I had purchased on eBay this shit thing. Do not buy this if you find it online and it feels appealing and attractive to you. Do not come close to this thing ever. It fucking sucks. I had bought it and, you know, kept it on the side for the moment when I wanted to start working with Delft sand casting, and it turned out to be extremely shit. Like, it was coated with some shit paint, and with the heating up of the metal that was supposed to be inside, obviously, it started to burn into flames, to stink. Do not buy this. It's super shit. And at the same time, as I was ready to go, and I was like, oh no, I didn't do all this for nothing, because the sand is gonna dry. I cannot leave it like that for hours. So what I ended up doing is just trying to make a similar thing that I had found on, I think it's Rio Grande, a way to be able to melt metal in a similar thing. So I just used a piece of old charcoal I had, and I just use a vise thingy like that, and I started to really crush it and carve it to be able to have enough space to hold the amount of metal I wanted to melt, and then, you know, carve the out so I could pour it nice and easy. Turned out to be super handy. So I think that for the newbies or the people that do not have any special equipment and that still want to try to do the sand casting method, this could, obviously it's not the best option out there, but if you have nothing, this will save your life. If you wanted to secure it a little bit more, you could use and twist around some copper or brass wire to be able to hold the charcoal, because with the heat, what will happen with time is that it will start to crack, and after a couple of use, you won't be able, it will be useless, and you will have to make another one. But if it's a one-time or two-time thing, I think I'm going to use this up till it dies off. But this little thing, this little guy saved my life. and I just thought, you know, MacGyver is gonna be, I don't know how you pronounce it, you know, the old TV show, MacGyver is my middle name, man. I had to find a way, so I found this way. So the way I did after carving it, I used borax, then I heat it up so it can make a nice protective coat from the heat and make my metal melt faster. And what I used is this old thing, I don't know how you call it in English, and when the metal was really kind of starting to get really hot and really liquidy, I used that, I started to hold it, and then beam, and you can do your thing. So this is the simplest way I've found that you can still try to melt metal even though you have nothing on your hands. And like I say, do not buy this, it sucks. I actually don't know what I'm going to be able to do with this. But so for those who might be interested in more sand casting videos, there's a man, a jeweler, that is specialized in that. So I will try to put in the description box of this video the link to one of his videos that I find very short time wise, like in length, but very concise, and you will understand the process if you're interested in it. So here we go. That'll be it for me for today, and I'll see you around. Bye.